Hello everyone, Cody here. I've got Canyon along here with me. She's a little sleepy, but hopefully she'll provide a little commentary with us. Anyway, we have updated to KSP version 0.25. You see they now have a pool and destructible buildings. But I think our goal for today is to get to the moon. I was working on a little test rocket to make sure everything worked. I've added a few more mods. The mod where you have food is now installed. You like that, don't you, Canyon?
No, no, no.
No, no, no. Yep, and so there's that one. I got real parachutes. In fact, how about I just insert a screenshot of all the mods that I've installed right about now. Okay, you guys get a good look at that. That's all the mods I've got installed. That's my game data folder. One thing that I have done that's a little different is like this engine here, go into propulsion, you can see I've lowered its thrust and I've increased its specific impulse to mimic that of what I would have if it was burning hydrogen and oxygen. Since my real fuels mod just doesn't seem to work for me, I've had to do that to simulate having hydrogen fuel, because without that extra specific impulse, there was just going to the moon is just not going to be possible. These littler engines I've all left using burning liquid fuel, basically. That way they're more storable propellants, I guess. Anyway, just trying to make it as real life as possible. Let's go ahead and start work on a Saturn V-like thing that'll take us to the moon. Do that. Do we start with the lander or the launch stage?
Yes.
Okay. You're very helpful. Okay, I'm going to do this post-commentary here, so you don't have to watch us spend a couple hours working on this construction here. You can see we're building the lander, which is going to go to the moon. And at first we were building it just like the Saturn V, where you had the lander and command module. You see us testing it and trying to get all that figured out. And we did figure something out that was pretty good. But ultimately we ended up splitting the rocket into two rockets, because the delta V needed was just, I couldn't build the rocket that big. The game still doesn't quite model the real life quite close enough to be able to have the rocket being the same size. I ended up having to build one that's like really huge. And so two rockets to get the needed delta V to get to the moon and back. Get to the moon and back, we needed about 25 kilometers per second of delta V. You can see us building the second rocket here. And in real life, you need 24.5 kilometers per second delta V to get to the moon and back. And in this game is about that much. You can see us doing some more testing. Yeah, this one, it flipped out and went nuts, and so we go back and we fix it. Lots of testing, lots of work to get this to go. See, putting in struts and more boosters there. Different boosters. Trying different combinations of fuel. Yep, okay, we did this test here. I think this one goes all the way to orbit. Yeah, it does. Yeah, we were doing some delta V testing here. So you get it into orbit, and then I turned it around to see how much I could lower the speed, and it ended up burning up in the atmosphere. Alright, King, and I think I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah, my delta V dropped for some reason. I can't figure out why. But everything looks good. Yeah. No, let's just try it. Probably this thing's just wrong somehow, or I'm overlooking something important. Either way, let's go for launch. Okay, let's go ahead and fast forward time. No. And so line the orbit with the moon. Where's that moon? Stupid sky circle. Plant a flag on it. Destroy it. No, we're not. Okay.
Destroy the flag?
Oh, the moon.
Why would you want to destroy the moon?
They're an evil genius.
Oh, okay.
Figure out why. It looks like I'm going to have to fast forward to about there. Yeah, looks about right. See, I want this kind of normal to the moon's orbit. See, this orbit's going to go like this. Moon's orbit's also going to be like that. To get us close, no guarantees. We may have to relaunch it, but anyway, let's go to the pad. Give us a countdown, Canyon.
5, 4,
Throttle up.
3, 2, 1.
Wow, that was loud. Okay. Yeah, we're working on the audio. Sorry about the low audio quality. I mean, this that I'm doing right now is probably either going to be super loud or really breathy. But yeah, you can see us climbing into orbit with this rocket. It's going to go, well, you'll find out. And we're about to stage here in a second. I'll let you watch that. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it kind of exploded there, but it didn't hurt the rocket any. It looked kind of cool. Anyway, so you can see we got into orbit, and the plane was exactly opposite of what I wanted. I launched from the wrong side of the planet, and so what we're doing is we're bringing the orbit way out, and so we can match the planes with the moon. And we're going to use this as the we're going to use this as our target. Of course, I crashed the game, and we're back. Let's see what the damage is. Okay, so it's there. Let's get back to where we were. In my defense, the Windows button is very close to the X button to shut the engines off. It totally crashed the game. So let's get back out there and start from where I was. And we're back to where we were.
Oh, good.
Okay, so let's go ahead and warp out. Looks like we're going to do a flyby of the moon, which will be nice because it'll lower our orbit down. Hopefully without altering our inclination too bad. Using our gravity assist to our advantage. Let's make sure the inclination isn't changing. It is, but it's not too bad. It's increasing our orbit again. Okay, that's the maximum that I can do. See how everything's lined up. So let's just fly by the moon and then put ourselves into low Kerbal orbit. I've still got 4 kilometers per second of delta V, so that's plenty to put it into low Kerbal orbit. Let's warp over to the moon. Get our first look at it. Where is it? There it is. I hope we're not going to fly around on the night side. There we are. Oh well. Eclipse. There it is.
The moon!
We're going to get very much closer to it soon. Goodbye, moon. Let's actually go out here. And look at those asteroids flying by. We got to do something about that. Okay, Let's lower our periaps down to the desired orbit. Bring that down to about 200, 300 kilometers. That'll do. Okay. Let's warp out. I just flew by. I just flew by it. Courtesy time warp. There's no problems. Oh no. 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 I got kicked out again.
Oh.
Scumbag moon. Okay. That's our orbit. Yep. I'm gonna have to slow down yet again. So I got a gravity boost there. And warping is so hard in this. Slow down. Slow down. It like takes time to slow it down. Alright. Just past the periaps. Let's go ahead and circularize the orbit. Ugh. Okay, that ought to do it. Let's actually bring our speed up just a little bit on that end because the periaps is rather low. Okay, and that's our marker. That'll provide me a way to figure out when I need to launch in order to get to the moon. Because those orbits line up. Half a degree off. Oh well. So let's go back to the Space Center and launch it again. This time we won't have to fly out to the moon and back to circularize the orbit and stuff. But see what we can do. We can go over here. See that? Now we just line this orbit up the top of this orbit. And we're good to go. Alright, so I'm fast forwarding again. So I guess this is old me here. We're launching the rocket. I had to fast forward it because this took like 10 minutes. You can see us adjusting the orbit to match the inclination here, pointing north and south. We're now in orbit, 1.2 degrees away from the moon's orbit, which is pretty good. What do you think?
Hooray!
Now we just got to dock our lander to this and boost it out to the moon. Let's go ahead and point this in northerly direction so we know how to dock it. And let's go get the lander craft launched. And here we are with our craft.
Getting craft!
Let's warp this back around to the launch window.
Okay.
Which is the top of this orbit. Bill Kerman, ready to fly. In 3, 2, 1. Ka-chunk. I love the sound that makes. I'm really glad they added that noise to this game. Anyway, we're getting into orbit again. Pretty standard. Fast forwarding again because it takes a lot longer than the stock game. Got some pretty views at least. You see us steering into the correct orientation again. So once we get up into orbit, we ditch that stage, ditch the fairing, and boost the rest away with the engines on the lander. Then we boost the orbit up so it'll phase around. At some point I realized that it's not phasing fast enough, so I boosted up a little higher. That way we don't run out of food before we actually make the docking occur, because most of our life support is actually on the other vehicle, just like they did on the Saturn V. Okay, so I'm adjusting the orbit, getting it close. Here we come in, pretty standard KSP docking, very inefficient, but it gets the job done. You see me flying past it a couple times there. Anyway, coming in for a docking in just a second. Docked. Woohoo! Man, that took a lot of work. I'm not even sure if we got enough Delta V now.
shut down these engines.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard that, but I definitely didn't have enough Delta V because that docking and stuff took way too much fuel.
Alright, we're about to do a Hoffman transfer out to the moon. Okay, this is gonna take 9 minutes to burn, so I may as well start now. Spinning the spacecraft now because it's slightly unbalanced. And, spinning it stabilizes it so it keeps it on target.
Okay.
Come on. Yeah, just like a bullet. Or a football.
Yeah, you can see I was spinning the rocket to keep it in target. We decided to go to the moon for some reason, even though I pretty much at this point knew I didn't have enough Delta V to get back. But I knew I could get to the moon, so at the very least I wanted to prove that I could get to the moon and actually hit the surface, because, well, I haven't done that yet in this game.
Okay, that's a very close encounter with the moon.
Ooh.
Let's adjust the inclination there so that we end up in the right plane. Alright, we're on our way to the moon.
Cool.
Is that thing out of fuel? It's totally out of fuel, no wonder. Well, not much I can do other than just take its stuff.
Whoa.
Yep.
Why does it do that?
That's what the orbit's going to look like relative to Kerbal. Relative to the moon, it's going to look like this.
Oh.
So we decided this tank is empty, so we take all of its stuff out and we ditch it, and we made it so it would hit the moon to get rid of it from our game, and we're going to go ahead and perform the rest of the maneuvers just with the lander.
Warp helper. Warp to periapsis. Time 30 seconds. That ought to work. That thing's of course going to hit the moon. Splash. Yep. Okay, gonna put this on the retrograde. Oh, right, the rockets are. Let's activate the engine. Let's put it into orbit.
Woohoo!
Now the question is, Canyon,
Mm-hmm.
should we enter orbit around the moon and then immediately break orbit and head back home, or should we go ahead and land?
Does he have a chance of living if I just come back?
If he just comes back, he'll live. If he lands, he's gonna be stuck there.
Should bring him back.
Should bring him back.
Okay.
But I want to land on the moon. He wants to land on the moon.
You're willing to sacrifice his life for this?
I don't know, maybe he could EVA back into Kerbal orbit or something. Alright, so we're gonna land there.
You are. You're sacrificing this Kerbal's life to
Yep.
land on the moon, and he doesn't know it. Actually, he might. I don't know.
His ability's too stupid.
So we decided to go ahead and try to land on the moon. You can see us doing our maneuvers here to try to improve the possibility. I accidentally turn off a couple engines at one point, and you can see the result.
around.
Oh dear.
Well, you got to the moon.
I got to the moon. Oh.
I told you to send him home.
Oh. Well, should we try again with a different Kerbal? Oh, it's gonna take forever. Vessel is destroyed, cannot auto save. Okay. How about we call it a day and we'll build another craft and try this all again sometime. We'll cut all that out and just cut to the part where we're entering lunar orbit
Okay.
or landing. So, yeah.